Right. Hello and good evening. I'm not sure if anyone's there other than Laura. Hello to Laura. Um, we welcome you, Laura, and Bambi, and Tina, and Leslie, and BJ, and Lily, and Dave, and Kaz, and Jenna, Mother Duck, Paulie, and Melissa, Louise, and Samantha, and Heidi, and Susie, and Andrea, and Mitch, and Joe, and Banky Wood, and Ev, and Holly, and Emily, and Marianne, and Empress. I cannot keep going on, but here we are. So, hello to you all. Hello and good evening. And this evening we do have the wonderful company of the wonderful graduate David, who's going to help with a quiz. So you're going to have a quiz this evening. He's got the quiz book here. He's going to keep notes. I better give him a pen. So for later, you will have a quiz. So here we are, yet again. And, this is another evening of the Indian summer of Great Britain. The weather has been glorious here today in Broadstairs. Not sure how it has been with you, wherever you are. Hello from the Highlands to Matilda. I don't know what the weather's like in the Highlands. I'm told in the Lake District it pours with rain. But never mind that. So hello from Preston. Is that Preston, Lancashire, Joanna, or is that Preston somewhere else? Because there are several Prestons in the UK. I used to live near Preston, Lancashire. There we go. It's pissing down in South Scotland, says Holly. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Joanna is near Lancashire. Yes, well, I used to live near Garstang. And of course, there's the whole saga of the lady who fell into the River Wye. Many people have lots of theories about that story, but it's not one that I know much about. So there we go. Anyway, I think today I would like to begin by talking. Now, how many of you like Theresa May? Now, I've been told off for saying 1 and 2, so we won't be doing that anymore. What do we do instead, David?
A or B.
A or B. We do an A or B. If you like Theresa May, put A. If you don't like Theresa May, put B. So Mrs. May has been around the town promoting her book. Her book is about her time as Prime Minister, and she has been a little bit of a pest in her gossiping about her book, I would say. Most of you are B, you don't like her book. I think that Theresa May was an absolute stooge who did nothing to help deal with the situation of Brexit. My notes are too close to the microphone. I don't know where the microphone is, so I don't know how you know where my microphone is, because I don't know where my microphone is. Wouldn't you agree, David?
Yeah.
Where is my microphone, David?
Maybe close to a camera. I don't know. It's a Mac.
I'm
a Windows guy, so.
David is a Windows guy, so I can't possibly help you with that. It's at the bottom of your laptop. It's loud when I turn the pages. Well, I'm not turning any pages. I've only got one page.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how it could be loud. I've got speakers next to my computer, but I don't know. I'm terribly sorry if I offend you with the noise, but search him, David. The secret microphone must be found. Well, there is no secret microphone.
Yeah, maybe get better microphone soon.
Don't worry.
Better microphones and better camera soon.
there will be the person who is meant to be helping me is meant to be bringing me my proper microphones. I don't know what they are. Do I look like the Oracle? I have no idea about technology. And it's utterly annoying that all these people continually control me and complain about stupid noises. I have no idea what noise there is. I've utterly no idea. I'm terribly sorry. If you don't like the noise, you can turn me off. You don't have to listen to me. I'm a very irritating person, and it's probably better that you don't listen to me at all. So there we are. Anyway, I only have one piece of paper or two pieces of paper most evenings. I am not somebody who collects pieces of paper. There we are. Anyway, no, Mrs. May has decided that she really ought to go on and on and on about her stupid book. And I think Mrs. May would do well to be quiet. I think Mrs. May is the most boring prime minister in history. She has become a better person since she was removed from being prime minister. But in her time as prime minister, she enabled this stupid Brexit deal to go ahead. You know, the country had narrowly voted to leave the EU by 52% to 48%. Well, people like me, we are called Ramonas, according to the nasty people who hate us. And we are the Ramonas. I'm a proud Ramona. I would be happier being called a Ramona. I should be respectful to the YouTube chat. What does that mean? I'm entitled to my view. Whoever you are, you're blocked. Bye-bye. Just blocked you. You're a nuisance. Bye. No, I do see that, you know, views on Brexit do divide a nation. 52%, 48% is a divided nation. It was nothing other than that. Mrs. May was a completely useless waste of space. She added nothing to the situation, and that is why she had to go. And then we ended up with an extremist Boris Johnson as a result. It's an utterly stupid state of affairs. And my friend Gina Miller stood up for this nation and did a great thing and stood up for the people who wanted to stick with the European Union, and I salute her. Now, I have many friends who think otherwise, and I respect their right to have differing views. But I don't like this kind of nonsense. Here we are. As he says, in Scotland, we didn't vote for Brexit. Scotland voted very much against Brexit. But Scotland is part of the United Kingdom. So therefore, Scotland has to abide by the rules also, as much as England has to abide by the rules. But David Cameron didn't bother to campaign. David Cameron is a shameful man. The last time I saw David Cameron was at a party at Christie's in South Kensington. Sorry, in St. James's. And he came up to me and he said, "Oh, how are you? How are you? How are you?" And I said, I wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire, you stupid man. I said, you let down our nation. Shame on him. Because he didn't run a campaign. He just assumed he would win. He thought that having this stupid referendum would resolve this problem. This referendum made the nation divided. And all it's done in the years since is create chaos. David Cameron is the man I blame for all this. I don't blame Theresa May, but Theresa May took over, and Theresa May was totally useless. She was as much use as a chocolate teapot. She is as much use as a biscuit that drenched in a cup of tea. She is absolutely useless. Mrs. May is rubbish. And don't believe her nonsense when she goes on her little book tour right now. Don't believe a word of it. Mrs. May is to be ignored. She's a fool, she's an idiot, and she's like the Wombling Wimbledon common wombles. She's of no consequence. This woman should shut her mouth. She's totally ridiculous. Shame on Theresa May. Shame on her. And there we are. So that's my view on her. Right. So we can move along to another topic. The Chinese dissidents. So we're again connected with the Conservative Party. So we've had spies in the House of Commons. Now, this is utterly ludicrous. How on earth has this happened? How on earth have the United Front Work Department, UFWD, China's main agency for shaping public opinion, been allowed to bring in their people into the House of Commons? Do they not have any security checks? I remember recently, a couple of years ago, going into the House of Commons, the Houses of Parliament, with my friend Bill Oddie. Now, many of you will know Bill Oddie, and Mr. Oddie, and the Goonies, and all the rest of it. And, you know, he's into the birds and the bees and all the rest of it. And he wouldn't take his belt off, and they told him off. But somehow China's main agency for spying can somehow get their people into working in the House of Commons. This is utterly disgusting and shameful. Shame on our country. What is wrong with us? Now, this is something that doesn't make sense. You know, Ian Duncan Smith, I don't like the man. You know, he wanted to be Prime Minister. He was the leader of the Conservative Party. He's a complete creep and a waste of space, but the Chinese have banned him from going to China. Now, he complains about China all the time. Now, the person who's pretending to be Michael Barrymore, I have to say, I would like you to either withdraw your name because it's insulting to the victim. Right, well, you are now blocked. I'm sorry. That is, you are an offensive person. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Out. Do not insult the victims of murder and rape by pretending to be somebody. Whoever that person was should be ashamed of themselves. I have removed them. I don't like people making fun of people who have suffered at the hands of, being murdered and raped in a swimming pool in Essex, the home of a former entertainer. So don't pretend to be Michael Barrymore, whoever you are. You're a disgrace and you're a shameful person. Shame on you. I don't want to hear any more from that person ever again, but whoever you are, don't use fake names. Don't try and be clever with me because you don't get anywhere. There we are. Anyway, next question. Oh, Nav is here.
Nav?
Yes, David says hi to Nav. And we all say hi to David. And well done, David, on his degree. Very clever. There we are. Anyway, we will move along to another topic. We'll move along to Meghan. Right, so Meghan has been taking center stage. Nab says congratulations to
Yeah.
David.
Thanks. Well,
Well, David can write back, yes. So Megan is taking center stage at the Invictus Games as she cuddles up to a furry friend, sings Sweet Caroline, and shares a joke with her royal husband. Well, what is Megan doing? What is she really up to? This woman is deviant. She is beyond belief awful. Miss Markle is somebody whose star power, the Daily Mail said, has showed no signs of fading as she attended her third event of the day. Now, is this the Mail turning and supporting Meghan? This is a very bizarre set of affairs. Paul Thompson in Dusseldorf and Natasha Anderson and Mark Duell in London. Well, I don't know who they are, but, well, please don't suck up to this ghastly woman. She was as enthusiastic as ever, with Prince Harry clutching his hand when they arrived to watch the wheelchair basketball final. The Duchess giggled when she was confronted by the French mascot, a giant rooster in red, white, and blue costume. Even a noisy contingent of French family and friends gave her a warm welcome. Please. The world cannot stand Meghan Markle. This is a load of nonsense. Whoever wrote this Barry Bull bag of drivel should be ashamed of himself. But the biggest cheers came from the colourful American supporters who brought a real party atmosphere to Centre Court in the Mercure Spiel Arena with their chants. And then there's all a load of pictures with her with a rooster. Meghan, dressed casually all in black, had packed 3 events into her day with Harry by her side. This woman had to go to 3 stupid sports events, and they call it packed 3 events into a day. This is ridiculous. Meghan is beautiful. Don't be a racist, says Wiki. Well, you sound like a typical Sussex squaddy. You sound like a bore. Hit a 1 if you hate Meghan, says Assy. No. Hit an A if you don't like Meghan. Hit a B if you do like Meghan. A or B. We're not doing 1 or 2 anymore. We're A or B on here now, aren't we, David?
Yeah.
We've moved our channel onto A or B. Oh, it's all an A. You don't like her. We haven't had a single B. A. Oh, well, there you are. I closed the door in Meghan's face. I'm lucky to be alive. Oh. Well, Harriet Bianca, I'm glad you're alive. We've got 1B, Wecky. Whoever you are, you're probably a Sussex stooge. There we are. Anyway, Meghan has had her little moments, and her and her silly husband have been standing around with a dog and all the rest of it, and dressing up like a pair of fools. They are utterly an embarrassment to this world, and I'm being told not to be rude. Well, whoever you are, you can go away. Bye. Just blocked you. David, please block all of these horrible people.
yeah, okay.
I don't want to even look at their nonsense. So we'll move along. And I'm going to talk about 2 other things that I actually am more interested in talking about. So the other day I talked about Patrick Hamilton, the book Hangover Square. And I urge you all to read this book. This is a wonderful book. Patrick Hamilton, Hangover Square. The edition I have is from Little Brown. It's $10.99. You can probably buy it on any channel. Mr. Hamilton was one of the most talented writers I've ever come across, and he's utterly fantastic. And he wrote this book, Hangover Square, which was based on kind of lunatics of London. And I'll read you the description. London, 1939, and in the grimy publands of Earl's Court, George Harvey Bone is pursuing a helpless infatuation. Netta is cool, contemptuous, and hopelessly desirable to George. George is adrift in a drunken hell, except in his dead moments, when something goes click in his head and he realizes, do wake up. Hello? You went to sleep.
No.
Sorry, my accompaniment went to sleep. I do apologize for the snoring.
There's no.
You were snoring.
Oh, my bad.
So George is adrift in a drunken hell, except in his dead moments, when something goes click in his head, and he realizes without a doubt that he must kill her. In the darkly comic Hangover Square, Patrick Hamilton brilliantly evokes a seedy, fog-bound world of saloon bars, lodging houses, and boozing philosophers, immortalizing the slang and conversational tone of a whole generation and capturing the premonitions of a doom that it pervaded London life in the months before the Second World War, basically. So this is a great book. And this is a book that got me onto a wonderful cocktail, and it's one you must try, called the Gin and French. All it is gin and vermouth. So do try it. Do read the book. So that's a great book. There we are. And I was meant to give you a book recommendation yesterday, and I didn't get onto it. So here we are. Today I'm going to recommend you the book called Mr. 5%. I don't know if you can see it, but it's about the world's richest man. It's written by Jonathan Conlin, Conlin, and it's all about the Gulbenkian family. And I have lots of links to the Gulbenkians, but Calouste Gulbenkian, who I did not know, obviously because he died in 1955 and I was born in 1981, so therefore I could not possibly have known him, was the richest man in the world when he died, aged 86. And his entire family and the story of their lives and their eccentricities is a story that anyone with a brain would love to read, and it will just tell you of a champagne lifestyle, escorting actresses, showgirls, but it'll also talk of Armenian entrepreneurship. It will talk of oil deals. It's absolutely the most fascinating of tales. Dominic Sambrook of the Sunday Times says Conlin, who wrote the book, does a fine job of digging beneath the legend. Well, I think the more interesting part of the legend was actually Calouste's son, Nubar. And Nubar, to me, was very fascinating because he would combine a Rolls Royce and a taxi because he thought the taxi could turn on a penny, and but he wanted the luxury of the Rolls Royce, and he created wonderful motor cars, and they were the most amazing of families. And recently, Angela Gulbenkian, I wrote a lot about her because she was sent to jail for being a fraudster, and she just happened to marry into the family. So the Gulbenkians are the most fascinating of families because they were the richest family in the entire world. So if I would suggest a book to you, Mr. 5% is a book I would recommend anyone reads. So there we go. you rely on me to come up with all sorts of weird and wacky things you wouldn't get elsewhere because, frankly, there is no point me talking about things that other people talk about because that's what other people talk about. So those that object about what I talk about, if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else because there's plenty of other places to get your information. And if you don't like my noise, I'm very sorry. I'm not professionally trained. I am just me, myself, and I at the moment. And one day I might have some microphones and cameras and all the rest of it.
We can get some Rode microphones.
But I'm just at the moment doing this myself. So if you don't like the noise, please stop complaining and bog off. I don't need people moaning at me. It doesn't make any difference because you're not going to change what I'm going to do. There are 274 people sitting here watching this right now, but I believe that means there's a lot more because yesterday when it said 584, there were actually 900, but I don't know. Anyway, right, so we've gone through the Chinese dissidents. Right, let's go on to another topic before we go on to a quiz. Right, we've done Megan, we've done Teresa. Who's this? That's more Megan. Right, now we'll deal with Dan Rosenfield. Now, Mr. Rosenfield, I'm sure many of you aren't at all interested in Baron Rosenfeld of Muswell Hill. He is a man who became Boris Johnson's chief of staff in January 2021. He has decided not to sit on the Conservative benches, so he's going to be a crossbench peer. He has been appointed a peer by Boris Johnson. Now, the 20-something-year-old Charlotte Owen, who allegedly might be Boris Johnson's daughter, but allegedly might not be, so I use the word allegedly because I don't know, has been appointed alongside him by this Boris Johnson list. But Mr. Rosenfeld has decided to take his position as a crossbencher. Now, that is a most interesting thing. He also happens to work for British Gas, a company that has raped and pillaged most Britons during this cost of living crisis. And I have received energy bills myself today, and I could not believe how expensive they were. They have gone up by over 2/3. It is utterly shocking. Now, this man, what's his name again? His name is Baron Rosenfeld now. His former name was Dan Rosenfeld, but now he's Lord Rosenfeld is his correct address. But this Guardian article is not particularly useful because it goes up and down here, there, and everywhere. Anyway, he's taken the title, but he's decided to sit as a crossbencher because he would like to be able to be politically neutral. Well, he works for an energy company. He is one of these people, members of the public, who was stolen from you. Yes. He has stolen from you. He has taken your money and he is living the luxury life in the House of Lords. So he can go there and claim his £300 a day. Another friend of his said he was never a proper Tory in the first place. Well, why did Boris Johnson put him there? It's utterly disgraceful. He was not well known, according to The Guardian, in conservative circles, to have shown any particular affiliation to the party, but he spent more than 10 years as an official at the Treasury. So he has been promoted for no good reason. And isn't this shameful and wrong that our country has people like this who have just been put there for no good reason? And he will now get 300 quid a day like the rest of them. Like that dreadful woman I used to know, Catherine Mayer, who was married to Sir Christopher Mayer. She is now Baroness Mayer. She gets 300 quid a day simply for turning up. That woman was not suitable to run a bus ticket. And I don't care what she says. If she'd like to sue me, please sue me, Lady Baroness Mayer. You're a dreadful woman. I don't like you. And you know I don't like you. And I've said that to you in a restaurant in public. I don't care where you come at me. Baroness Mayer is one of the most awful people I have ever met in my entire life. So there we go. Have I got a Christopher Mayer story? Well, yes. Christopher Mayer is just a revolting person. I even had to put up with Christopher Mayer and Lady Mayer for Christmas lunch at my home because they had nowhere else to go. The pair of leeches came and had lunch at my home. They're not very thankful and they're very rude. They're absolutely dreadful pieces of toe rag, the pair of them. And they're great friends of Mr. and Mrs. McCann, parents of the missing Madeline. So that says it all to me. Shame on them. But I don't want to go down that chapter anymore. I think we're going to have some fun now. I think we've gone through most of my topics. Yes, I think it is time we'd rather do a quiz, don't you, David?
Yes.
I think David would like a quiz. And David has had a wonderful success because he has become a graduate. So now he's a graduated quizmaster.
No, I'm graduated.
He's graduated to the role of quizmaster. So I think it is jolly well time that we move the candle along and we started our quiz. Have you got a pen and paper?
Yeah, pen and paper.
Right. So you need to hand me the book.
There you go.
A random page. David will choose the page.
There you go. 46 for Valid Rossi.
I don't know if we've done this quiz page before, but if anyone objects, I'm terribly sorry. We are beginning on page 100 of the quiz book. I probably shouldn't give that away because some of you may have bought the quiz book and there have been objections on that basis. But that is not for us to deal with. And we deal with this quiz in the order that the answers come in.
Huh?
We cannot deal with the quiz in the order that you see it on
like
your screen.
Whatever we see.
Whatever we see is the answer we accept. So if you don't wish to join in with this quiz,
if your net is slow,
if you are too slow,
that's your fault.
That is your own mistake. We cannot deal with it any other way because I can only see what is in front of me on the screen. So hello and good evening. And here's to the lovely Anne Robinson. We love her book. And we will have other quiz books in due course because we're going to change our quiz books and we're going to spice it up with a few others. But for the moment, we'll stick with the lovely Annie. And we're on round 46, as we call it here. Question number 1. Here we go. David's funny. Well, there we are. He's
46.
laughing. I don't know. Harriet Bianca thinks you're funny. Question number 1. In politics, Labour MP Tam Dalyell conducted a long campaign about the sinking of which Argentine ship during the Falklands War? Question mark. The winner is Iznekia with Belgrano. It wasn't Belgravia. No. Iznekia wins the point. Question number 2. In cricket, what do the initials MCC stand for? We need the full description. We cannot accept anything other than the full description. The winner is Pipfield with Marylebone Cricket Club. It is not Davina Middlesex Cricket Club. Many of you say Middlesex, and some of you say members, and some say Manchester, but no, it is Marylebone. So there you remember, now you all know. You've been educated today.
So that's
Pipfield.
yeah, Pipfield.
1-1 at the moment. Question number 3. Which of these countries is largest in area? Pakistan or Mexico?
Oh, I know the answer for that.
Well, Lucky is incorrect. Tea and Toast is the winner with Pakistan. Sorry. No, sorry. Well, I'm terribly sorry. I've got it all wrong.
I think it's
No. I'm completely wrong. The winner is not. The winner is SS Racing. Sorry, with Mexico. Tea and Toast is incorrect with Pakistan. That's what I meant to say. Oops. That's my mistake. The winner is the one I said second. Question number 4. In a standard game of chess, how many pawns does each player have at the start of the game? It is not 10. It's not 1. The winner with 8 is... No, the winner with is Harry Giles.
No.
Harry Giles wins. The point goes to you with 8. Question number 5. And I have to keep strolling. Oh, someone's pretending to be the magnet now. Oh, well. All right. Question number 5. In science, what is measured in units called curies or rads?
Somebody told the answer.
Radiation. No, radioactivity is what we could accept, but we can accept radiation. I think.
Lucky.
Okay, well, we David decides because he's the moderator. Radiation or radioactivity. So whoever said radiation first, David. Question number 6. Lucky gets the point. So we're not doing very well here for consistency. It seems to be different people winning, but right. Question 6. Old Glory is a popular name given to the flag of which country? The winner is Lucky Fibonacci with USA.
Oh,
Question 7. By what acronym is the machine that picks the winning UK premium bond numbers known? Iznekia wins with Ernie. Question 8. In food, what tea is the name given to a flatbread pancake originating from Mexico? Not a tea cake. The winner is ostini with tortilla. Question 9. Come On You Reds was a #1 pop hit for which football team in 1994? The winner is Dave B with Manchester United. Question 10. In astrology, the balance or scales is the symbol for which sign of the zodiac? Davina Wilson wins with a Libra. There seem to be many Libras out there because you're all joining in. So we're terribly sorry, but you just weren't as quick as Davina. Question 11. In literature, Ellis Peters created which medieval monk detective? Brother, come on, name him. It wasn't Rasputin. Anna Perkins wins with Cadfael. Whoever this person is, goodbye.
Wagner. Beautiful.
Yes, he seems annoying. Question 12. In the American television series, Carl Malden and Michael Douglas patrolled the streets of which U.S. city? The answer is San Francisco. So who was the first to say it? SS Racing. Question 13. How many days after New Year's Eve is St. Valentine's Day? It's not 37, it's not 15, it's not 15, it's not 56. It's not the Hey Tiggers wins with 45. Hey Tiggers gets the point. Question 14. What is the capital of Ethiopia? It's not rads of radiation. It's Addis Ababa. Yes, Daniel Wildgoose gets the point. Daniel Wildgoose, according to... Question 15. In the animal kingdom, which Commonwealth country is the original home of the black swan? Not Canada, not Africa, not New Zealand, not Russia. The winner is Anna Perkins with Australia. Anna Perkins gets the point. Question 16. The American film Clueless, starring Alicia Silverstone, is an adaptation of which Jane Austen novel? It is not Tortilla. The winner is Lily with Emma. Lily gets the point. Question 17. Which English Premiership football club is nicknamed the Rams? The winner is Daniel Wildgoose. He's come back again. Derby County. He said Derby, but Derby is acceptable. I come from Derbyshire. I was born actually in Chesterfield, Derbyshire. So there you go. Interesting fact that you probably never even needed to know or wanted to know. There we are. Question 18. In backgammon, how many pieces are there on the board in total at the start of a game? Not 4, not 13, not 12, not 54. Daniel Wildgoose wins again. 30.
Oh,
Daniel Wildgoose is clearly a very intelligent gentleman, or he's very much following this book.
I say, I snake. How do you pronounce it?
Isnekia.
Yeah, she's also.
Isnekia and Daniel are doing very well together. And we're on to our penultimate question. Whose little red book has allegedly sold over 800 million copies? The winner is Lucky Fibonacci, Mousy Tongue. Final question. If a Scrabble board has 15 rows and 15 columns, how many squares are there on the board? There are not 625, Anna Perkins. You are incorrect. There are not 30. The winner is Marcia Toms, 225. Many of you are completely out of the loop. Leslie thinks there are 1,000. You are the weakest link, Leslie. Holly Grant, you think there are 1,500. You're an even weaker link. You definitely need to be told goodbye. There we are. So who is the winner, David?
Lucky Fibonacci.
Lucky Fibonacci is the winner, according to David. So wherever you are, Lucky Fibonacci.
He got lucky.
I don't know if he got lucky. He's either bright or he says, "Oh, I say." Now, we need to know who you are, Lucky, because it's not your real name, is it? So we'd like to know who you really are. Congratulations to the winner, says Marcia Toms. The winner is Lucky, but we don't know who Lucky is. Of course it's my real name, says Lucky. Oh, well.
So is mine.
Well, we can't get him to come out of the woodwork and say who he really is. So anyway, we say thank you ever so much for your lovely participation. Lucky says, I'm just a number. I assume he also will add, I'm just a free man, but which is a typical thing. I think we say thank you to you all. Hope you had a lovely evening. Hope you enjoyed chatting with us. And we say happiness galore and have a fantastic night. Take care and pip pip and good gardening to you all. And David, come and say hello, say goodbye to everybody.
Hey guys, have a good night.
Pip pip.
Okay, bye. You haven't ended it yet. No, you haven't done it.